So no matter how much science we might understand, this is what the point I'm trying to make anyways, no matter how many technological advances we have currently or in the future, no matter how much DNA we have to make up who we are, no science, no technology, no philosophy can ever answer the question of why we exist. It tries to answer what and where and who and when, but it can't answer why. Why do we exist? What is our purpose? And what is the meaning of life? Like, that's the major question people ask. Science can't answer that, but I think faith, Christianity, the Bible can. You have to have a lot of faith to believe that life can come out of unsupervised chaos to the degree that we have it today. And I'm not trying to discredit the Big Bang Theory. In fact, I think it's a reasonable explanation. It's a very reasonable scientific explanation that created life as we know it. But it is predicated on this unsupervised and unpredictable banging together of random things. It would be like you have a paint can and a blank canvas, and you throw the paint can at the canvas and you hope that the Mona Lisa comes out of it. I don't know how the Mona Lisa was made, but I doubt it was just by throwing paint at a canvas. It was designed very specifically and intelligently by the designer, by the artist. If you've ever played pool, billiards, you know that there's a starting point to all of this. You hit one ball into another and it creates this chain reaction where one ball, the white ball, hits the other balls, and then they all scatter in their directions, and then they all scatter into other directions from the banging together. And that's kind of a parallel to the Big Bang Theory, right? That something started this process whereby all things bang together, and somehow by playing pool, you hit the balls together, and just by happenstance, they formed a perfect circle, or a heart, or they spelt your name or something, right? That wouldn't happen. It could happen, I guess, technically. You could hit all those balls and they'd form a perfect heart on the board. But it would be far more likely to happen if you just picked up a ball and placed it where it needed to be to form that heart, right? Much like the Mona Lisa. You'll get the Mona Lisa much better by painting than you will by just throwing paint at a wall. And so billiards is kind of a good analogy, a good example of forces that connect with each other and then send other things into other directions. But it requires something to start it all, doesn't it? It requires a person with a cue stick to go to the table and chalk up their cue stick and go and hit the cue ball, hopefully in the middle of the cue ball, into the other balls, which then scatters them all over the place. The cue ball doesn't move itself. It requires a mover to begin the process. The Big Bang Theory is similar. It required a mover to begin the process. Somebody to metaphorically flick on the light switch to make the bang possible. And so this Big Bang Theory, it's a hypothesis of how life came to be. And by all accounts, again, it's a reasonable explanation. But it requires someone or something to begin the process. And Paul's saying that just as the cue ball needs us to begin the process of balls hitting each other in chaos, creation needed Jesus to begin the process.